Here are 3 tips how you can improve your students' awareness in your mat classes using a wall. If these 3 tips are helpful for you, leave me a comment. If you like it, give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. All right, let's get into the 3 tips. Hey guys, this is Sievers. Welcome back to my channel, and I'm going to show you 3 ways today how you can improve your students' awareness using a wall. Every studio has a wall, super simple, it's free, doesn't cost anything, you don't need to buy any props. Often you can arrange the room a little bit, like put maybe stuff into the center so your walls around are free. You can use doors as well, and I promise the awareness that you get is totally worth it. Okay, here's one way how you can use a wall in your math classes to increase your students' awareness. So opposition is always is a principle of Pilates, but it's sometimes hard to get out of your students, or it's hard to make them do and apply the principle of opposition in their exercises. And a wall is a fantastic tool to achieve that. Anytime you have a solid surface or a prop that you can push against, that's a wonderful way to increase awareness. So this one simple way is to do a plank with your heels against the wall. So you would just set up perpendicular to the wall like this, start on hands and knees, and then step 1 foot back. You might have to measure the distance, how far away you are or you want to be from the wall, and then step your 2nd foot back. So now my heels, my heels are pressing against the wall, and my balls of the feet are actually pressing against the molding, which is a little bit further forward. So this is actually really, really convenient. Now what this does for me is I have something to push against with my heels and my feet. My feet have contact, and I can push back while I'm reaching forward. So I can have the oppositional thinking of reach the heels back, reach the tailbone towards your heels while the chest is reaching forward, okay? Which is much, much easier to engage muscles in the posterior chain, for instance, than if I'm away from the wall, because I tend to sort of I just have nothing to push against, right? But what you can try and do is practice the exercise first with the heels against the wall, and then just like I did, move forward and try and encourage your students to have that same thinking of reaching the heels against the wall. And sometimes when we do the exercise against the wall first, you have that phantom feeling of still feeling the pressure slightly against your heels, which can help activate that. And then once the plank works really well, you can add an inverted V position. So again, hands and knees, 1 foot back, 2nd foot back, press the heels back, and then push away from your arms into your inverted V, and then push into the heels as the chest goes forward, right? So heels against the wall, hips up, press away from your hands, and then press against the heels as your chest goes forward, and then you can hold your plank here for a little while longer if you like, and then drop one knee down, drop the other knee down. I encourage you to try it out. It's really, really nice to activate the lower body in the plank and turn it into a more full body exercise. Second tip, how you can include a wall into your mat classes to increase your students' awareness. You would lie on your side. My mat is perpendicular to the wall. I'm basically in my side kick position or side balance position. Now my feet, initially both of my feet are flat against the wall. So I have the molding in the way. Instead of keeping my feet all the way down, I just move my feet above the molding. And just make sure that you're at a perfect distance where your legs can be straight. You can feel the pressure into your heels as well as the ball of the foot. And now you can stabilize your bottom leg while you float your top leg up. And then the higher you float the top leg, the more you can reach it away again. Because what I don't want you to do is pull the leg away from the wall, but then collapse your bottom waist, right? So lift it just a little higher, and then you can keep the pocket of air without brushing against the wall. But make sure you stay really close to the wall, and then the top arm can hover above the leg, and you can just go forward and back. This is phenomenal because the bottom leg helps you stabilize a little bit. And then you start to feel whether you're wobbling. You don't have a chance to use this bottom leg. A lot of the times we bend it, and then we can swing the top leg really easily, and we don't feel what's hard about this exercise. But when we straighten the bottom leg, keep it stable. You can always focus on the surface of the sole of the foot against the wall. Make sure that the same throughout, and you can swing the leg forward and back. And then only move at a range of motion where you feel you don't wobble and counterbalance too much. There we go, that was a little too far. And you can do circles in both directions. So you have that anchoring of the standing leg, and that's a really good way to maybe teach the principles of balancing on one leg. Practice the exercise here first and then come into a standing position, and then you have the same exact thing. You can swing the leg forward and back, or you can circle it. You have the similar experience now being upright. Here's tip number 3, how you can use a wall in your mat classes to improve your students' awareness. You can face the wall and have the soles of the feet flat against the wall. So my heels are slightly up on the molding here. It's just a little bit more comfortable. And I would do the exercise, the saw, and a common mistake in the saw is that the feet shift. Let me scoot away. So this happens a lot of the time in the saw because as the body rotates, the pelvis rotates as well. If your feet are stuck against the wall, you feel whether you have more pressure in one foot than the other, and then when you switch. So you would set your students up this way, and then you would bring their focus only on their feet, right? You've taught the exercise before. They know what's going on in the shoulders. Sometimes it's better to just choose one focus point and make them improve that. So you would teach the exercise, but you can tell them keep looking at your feet or keep feeling what's happening in your feet, and the pressure between your feet shouldn't change. There's 50% of pressure on both feet, and that just stays the same. The pressure on the feet stays exactly the same as the upper body twist. So initially the movement in the upper body might be smaller, but that's okay. If somebody needs to close their eyes, that could also be a good way to feel what's happening in the feet. Bring the mind to the feet while moving the upper body. So we're not getting distracted by our eyes and thinking about how far we're going into the twist, okay? If you want more tips and strategies on how to teach effective and safe classes that your students will love, then head on over to PilatesEncyclopedia.com. There's so much more for you to learn. I'll see you next time.